Hello, everyone. Thank you to the power of the internet, I'm allowed to talk with you all. And I've been suffering at work, just waiting to tell you guys about the new ban list and fighter update. There's some other things too that Twitter's been blowing up about, but I feel like this is the most important to at least discuss for now. Obviously, you can see Premium and V have no updates, which is kind of a shame because there's nothing new currently being introduced to Premium, so it's just going to be what we had last year. But honestly, I think to revise V, put everything back on. Let Tier 0 happen and let the top decks shred each other. That would bring so much engagement and excitement, followed by some justifiable anger. But I feel like V just needs a little bit of a start to do that. Start fresh by going Tier 0. But what's really everyone's paying attention to is what's happening in Standard. Obviously, Shir Nui has the OT banned. Or at least choice, yeah, banned. So what's happening here is, you're not allowed to run that OT. And, this choice restrict. This is because on Shir Nui's first stride, checking this overtrigger enables 10 attacks, which are 2 dominate, your 2 rears, your Vanguard, it's very unfriendly, unfun to deal with. I still think overtriggers should be banned in Premium because they're just too good for Premium, I would say, in kind of very badly worded terms. But here, I think this is a justifiable hit. Shiranui definitely is too powerful for Standard as it is, just right off the gate. And there's not too many options to just play around or play as. So the whole meta currently is just warped around Shiranui. Followed up, the other stride set, Luard, the dog. This was a grade 1 and just willing to happen for this choice restrict because it's just too much hand value. Considering Luard, because you can stride for free with the crest, you don't have to pay for stride costs, so you can go into your guard restrict, basically build up your hand back to almost round 5, and win the game. This just snowballed way too fast. And Lyrical is free to roam again. I think I'm not a big Lyrical player, mind you that, so take this with a grain of salt. I think Prism is actually the better build at this point, and which is why this can be, unrestricted. You can let me know more about that, but I feel like each has their cons and pros, so I don't see this as too bad. The next thing, though, is something that more people are upset over than the OT. And this is what should have had originally. It's if you want to run a G deck in Standard, you got to just run the Rhine line that's given. Yes, this gives a lot less creativity, but Messiah has no other choices for the grade 2 it could have run. Maybe some generic we're getting in Divine Z, and Luard was doing this, just this, because it's just a free body. While, the real problem children who took advantage of this are Chronojet and Shiranui. Honestly, I feel there's an argument that Shiranui base is a lot more better than, taking from Shoujo Joji. But once again, I wasn't excited about this deck being released, so I'm going to obviously be biased for this happening, but I feel this is an extremely fair trade-off, because not only are you getting the crest, getting so much card advantage just from the grade 0 drawing, grade 2 draw, well, the grade 1 drawing, you're also getting strides, which, if you leave them alone for like 2 strides, are already so powerful that this is well worth the cost for a G-Zone. And the crest, which obviously you're getting from running the grade 1. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and I think this is a great list that we're getting. Obviously, my V take could use some refinement. But with this Fighters update, I think it's great. I would love to see these implemented in English, too. It's probably not going to happen during Springfest. So, Shirai Nui players, dominate your heart out. You're probably going to be untouched. Even this list, I think the dog's still being going to hit in Luard, but the OT thing might not transfer, but this is definitely showing up in English too. And I would love to see this before Championship, just because they needed the nerf, and over here too. But I would also like seeing a little bit more erratas, because I feel like a lot of cards could benefit from just being errated and not just plain restricted. Like, I think in this case, the fighter rules probably did have to happen, but something that could have happened is the Shoujo Joji Grade 2 is when, you know, a Shoujo Doji rides, you know, on top of it. But that's what I think. If you made it this far, thanks for listening to me and my absolute babbles of a take. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.